Welcome to the Open eCrime Market Commentary for the week of April 1st. My name is Toby Gennaro from Trade with Precision, and we'll just be taking a look at the markets for this week. And here we are looking at the S&P 500, looking at the ES futures contract as we normally do. And just working here from the top down, some of the higher time frames, looking at the monthly chart. Not a whole lot new here. We just broke through that 1560 level up to about a high of 1564, so put in a new fresh high. But nothing really new here on the chart. Everything's looking pretty much the same. Everything's looking very bullish, very positive to the upside. Moving down to the weekly time frame, pretty same. We just continue to grind higher, higher highs, higher lows, and I don't have a lot of overextension from the moving averages to warrant a pullback at this point. We just got done putting in a flat level right around that 1560 level, and we just punched up through that last week. And then we have a nice bullish candle here right in around that buy zone on the daily chart. So market's looking pretty bullish here on the daily chart as well. As we come down to the 480-minute chart, we can see we've got three touches at this flat level right here, right around 1560. We got a break late last week and moved up to that 1564 level, and then we're pulling right back into that 1560 level. So if you'll notice, we've got some divergence here on the daily chart. Put in a high back here, and then ever since then we put in or actually right back here, and then ever since then we've put in a lower high, and then another lower high with these two, and then we just put in actually another lower high right up here with 1564. So things are not looking necessarily too strong in terms of the indicators and the convergence that we're looking at. So indicators are actually diverging slightly here on the daily chart. We have some divergence as well here on the 480 chart, which really just tells us that the trend might be at a position here, or it might be weakening, or might be looking for a little deeper pullback. But usually the markets don't really have a turning point this close to the moving averages. Usually we see some big candles, we'll see a big spike up, and then we'll see the markets pull back off of that big spike and then do some type of a reversal pattern. So we don't really have that setting up yet on some of these time frames. So still pretty bullish on the markets and looking for the markets to move higher. We do have some economic data coming out April 1st, looking at some of the ISM manufacturing data, and so usually you can get some pretty decent moves off of that information, whether the information is positive or negative. So we're not going to be looking to trade that news, but looking for potentially the reaction to that news, and who knows what it will be. But we'll find that out on Monday. So for right now, we're looking bullish, just looking to buy the pullbacks into the buy zone, and so we have a number of bullish candles here. And so, again, the daily chart looking bullish in spite of some of the divergence. And then on the 480 chart, really just a pullback back into that 1560 level. But we're really going to have to see what happens with some of that ISM data on Monday to see whether the market's really going to move higher. So really kind of in a holding pattern here. We're cautious. We've got some divergence setting up in the higher time frames, and really looking for a move to break above this 1564 level, to see if we're actually going to, if there's any continuation in the market here to continue to move higher. Moving then from the big cap stocks down to the small caps on the Russell 2000 contract, and nothing new here really on the monthly chart. Again, that flat level that we broke a couple of months ago, or at that 860 level, that'd still be a nice support level once we get a pullback off of that high, but we're really not seeing anything, no reversal patterns signifying that we're going to get that pullback anytime soon. So the markets continue to grind higher. As you can see here, markets really just putting in higher highs, higher lows on the weekly chart. Not a lot of extension from the moving averages, similar to the ES contract. And then looking down at the daily chart, we can see a flat level coming in right there, right around that 951 level. And a pretty nice setup candle right there within the buy zone just a couple of days ago, late last week. Got a break at the high of that candle. Very, very bullish sign there. As we move down to the 480-minute chart, we can see 1, 2, 3 touches at a flat level right there at 951. So I'd be really looking tomorrow morning with some of the ISM data coming out. If we get a break above that 951 level, probably looking to get long this market to see if we can take this thing higher. So we're looking right here at a number of higher lows moving up here. We have a nice setup candle, nice rejection candle there, right in the buy zone, and we have a break of the high of that candle. So we have a number of things looking very bullish here on some of the higher time frames. We do have some divergence right here. We don't necessarily have a higher high in place, which what we're trying to figure out here is if the market does break to a new high, are the indicators going to do the same thing? And doesn't necessarily look like they are. We have some slight divergence here on the indicators on the daily chart as well, but on these trends like this, these can diverge for quite a while. So it really depends on some of that ISM news coming out Monday morning, and if we get a break at this flat level right here, be looking to get long and see where this market can potentially go. But for right now, things are looking pretty bullish on both the big cap stocks and on the small cap stocks right here on the Russell 2000 contract. And taking a look at the YM, we'll look at one more U.S. index in addition to the S&P and the Russell contract. Just tried to get a better idea of where the markets may be heading here in terms of the U.S. indices. Looking at the monthly chart, we had this significant level here right around 13.5. Once we broke through that level, made a pretty nice move, almost 1,000 points, right back into that 14.5 level where we are currently. I believe 14.5, 508. Actually, 14.517 is the current high from last month. And so, looking at the weekly chart. Don't have a lot of extension on the moving averages, away from the moving averages here, but we're looking at this one nice bullish candle right here, but it's not necessarily in the buy zone, even around the 10-period moving average. We can see another flat level developing here on the daily chart. We have the same thing here on the 480-minute time frame. So we got some higher highs, higher lows, and a little sideways consolidation. And so what I'd be looking for is if we're going to get a break of this flat level sometime this week, I'd be looking to see what kind of a break that we get. And then if we get a small break up through on some of these higher time frames and then potentially set up a nice rejection candle off of that high, then I'd be looking to hold off on continuing getting long this market, because obviously we've got some divergence here on some of these time frames, beginning with the 480, and we might be putting in a little bit of a topping structure here on the Dow. So it really depends on some of these higher time frames. If we get a nice rejection candle off of this flat level break, that would signify that we're not necessarily going to get a continuation. It'd be more of a false breakout of this flat level setup. So I'd be pretty keen watching out for that this week. You might see something on Monday with some of that ISM data coming out, and then we have some other news coming out later in the week. So keep an eye out on that. That's a little different trade setup that we haven't taught in the advanced course, but on the false breakouts, whenever you get a nice rejection candle on some of these higher time frames, that can signify a significant pullback, not necessarily a reversal in the trend that we're seeing here on some of these higher time frames, but it could be a healthy pullback and could signify some pullbacks on some of these higher time frames, getting us back into the buy zone on the weekly chart, potentially even the monthly chart, which would be very significant. So not necessarily anticipating that yet, but just something to watch out for in the upcoming week. So there's the outlook for the week on the U.S. indices. We'd like to thank you for watching the Opening Cry market commentary for the week of April 1st, and we do look forward to speaking to you next week on the Market Update.